Hello, welcome to your mean of absolute deviation notes. Today's GVC is 5, and our learning target today is 2. So we're still talking about the measures of center, the measures of central tendency, and then more specifically being able to find and analyze the measures of center. Okay, so we're just going one step further from like the mean and the mode and the median and that kind of stuff. So we're going to review the mean is the average of a data set. So remember, you add up all the numbers and divide them by however many numbers are in the data set. The word deviate means to stray or depart. Kind of a weird word, deviate. Stray or depart from the norm. The word absolute or absolute deviation, let's just talk about absolute first. So it's the absolute value of how far a number is from the mean. So it's the absolute value of how far a number is from the mean. So for example, right, if our mean was 23 and one of the numbers was 3, our absolute value from that would be 20 because there's 20 in between there, the distance. Okay, that was supposed to go with this little box, so it's supposed to say absolute deviation. So we're just gonna kind of leave that blank. This kind of goes with it. And then last but not least, we've got mean of absolute deviation. So we're putting this all together, and this means that you're going to find an average of how much data values differ from the mean. So what's the difference from the values of the data set to the mean or the average? So we're going to go through the steps quickly. Our first step for calculating the MAD or the mean absolute deviation is to find the mean or the average of the data set. So let's go ahead and do that. We've got number of raisins to scoop to 8 scoops of cereal. Wow, that was really hard to read. So we're going to go ahead and put those in order from least to greatest. So we've got 1, 2, 2, 2, 3 4s, and a 5. So to find the mean, we are going to add these all up, and then we're going to divide by 8 because there are 8 numbers here. So grab your calculator. We're going to go ahead and put in 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5, and then we're going to press equals. So we get 24. Then we need to divide by 8. Whoops, 24. And we're going to divide by 8. And that gives us 3. So our mean is 3. Okay. Our next step is to find the distance of each value in the data set from the mean. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and the distance from 1 to 3 would be 2. So I'm going to go ahead and write a 2 there. The distance from 2 to 3 is 1. There's 1 in between there. Same thing, right? There's going to be 1, 2, 3 ones that we list. Okay, the distance from 4 to 3 is 1, so there's going to be 3 more ones. And then the distance from 5 is 2. Okay, so hopefully that makes a little bit more sense when you see it, when you've seen it now. So what we're going to do now is find the mean. We're going to find the mean of these numbers now. So we're going to find the average. So that means we're going to add these all up and divide them by 8. So they're kind of weird steps, right? So we have 2 plus, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. So we could just put 6, or we could do plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. Is that 6? I seen 1. Okay. And then we're going to add 2, press equals, so that's 10. Why did I write 18? I don't know. We have 10, and then we're going to divide by however many numbers. There's 8. So we're going to divide 10 by 8. Oh, whoops. Not that first one. This one. So 1.25. I accidentally pressed enter one more time. So we have 1.25 is our MAD. So we're basically finding the mean of the original data. We're finding the distance between those numbers, and then we find the mean of those new numbers. Okay, seems a little crazy. Oh, let's fill in the blanks. Sorry, we got ahead of ourselves here. So it says, it should say find the mean of the distances in step 2. And then this is just saying divide the sum, which finding the mean is doing this and then dividing it by however many numbers there are. So we're just going to cross that off. So let's go ahead and we're going to do one more together. So the very first thing is, because we're only finding the mean, I guess we don't even have to put our data in order, but usually that's the first step when it comes to statistics. And I apologize, these numbers are written really weird, so they have like weird little lines. We're just going to ignore that. So it says find the MAD, or the mean absolute deviation. So the very first step is to find the mean, or the average of the data set. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add all of these numbers together. So we have 8 plus 9 plus 2 plus 8, I think. This is a weird number. Plus 4 plus 8 plus 6 plus 5. And let's make sure, I don't know if that's a 3 or an 8, but we're just going to go with it. We're just going to pretend it's an 8. Because the numbers are really, I don't like the font that the numbers are in. Okay, we need to make sure we have 8 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're good, so press enter. Okay, so we've got 50 divided by 8. Okay, so our mean is, you know what, I'm pretty sure some of these numbers, let me find out what the actual numbers are really quick. I'll come back on the video. Okay, I just barely looked at the answer key, and I wrote the number that it's supposed to be off to the side. So we're gonna just cross that off, and we're gonna add. So I'm really sorry about that font there. So the first number is actually 3. So we're gonna do 3 plus 9 plus 2 plus plus 3 plus 4 plus 8 plus 6 plus 5. We're going to go ahead and press equals. Okay, that's much better. So we've got 40, and then we're going to go ahead and divide by 8 because there's 8 numbers here. That's going to give us the mean of 5. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to write distance. And we're going to find the distance between these numbers and 5. So to get 3 to 5, we have to add 2. So that's the distance of that one. So we have 2. 9 and 5, that would be 4. 2 and 5, that would be 3. 3 and 5, that would be 2. 4 and 5, 1. 8 and 5, 3. 6 and 5, 1. And 5 and 5, 0. Excuse me. Okay, so now what we're going to do is find the mean of the distance. So we're going to add these all up. 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1. Obviously we don't have to add the 0 because it doesn't add anything. And we get 16. 16, and then we have to divide it by however many numbers. We get 8. Oops, so we have 16 divided by 8, which we know is 2. So our MAD, or our mean absolute deviation, is 2. Okay. All right, so you're going to go ahead and pause and try, and then you'll have a quick practice to do afterwards. So you want to make sure to rate yourself how you're feeling with this. I know this can look and seem like a complicated process, but the more that you do it and the more that you do the steps, it will get easier and easier for the MAD. Okay. All right. Good job.